Demet, meanwhile, continued evolving. Sometimes life puts people in our path who shine like the sun. They light us up, warm our souls, and leave an unforgettable mark. Others are like shooting stars. They dazzle for a moment and disappear, leaving only emptiness. Today, I want to tell you the story of a light that never fades, Demet Özdemir, and of a shadow that tried to extinguish her, Can Yaman. Demet didn't just win over the screen with her beauty and talent, but also with her sincerity, dedication, and heart. In every project, she left a part of herself. She was loved not just in Turkey, but all over the world. Can, on the other hand, appeared as a charming, confident, seductive man. But good looks and a charming smile aren't enough. When the soul is empty, it shows. When they starred together in Daydreamer, the chemistry was undeniable. They seemed destined to shine together. But while Demet gave authenticity and humility, Can lost himself in appearances, scandals, and fleeting relationships. For him, women were moments. For her, love was commitment. And that's where the imbalance began. Demet lived that love truthfully. She protected it, she didn't hide it. Can turned it into a show. And when fame called him abroad, he left, leaving behind the woman who gave him light without realizing what he was losing. Since then, Can has walked a path of brief romances and repetitive roles. Always the same character, always the same emptiness. Demet, however, kept growing. In every series, every role, she proved her strength comes from the heart, not from headlines. Today, she's at the top. Not because of scandals, but because of her work, honesty, and soul. Does Can understand what he lost? Maybe not. But it doesn't matter. While he looks for in other women what he can no longer have, Demet keeps shining. Brighter than ever. Women like her don't repeat. Men like him do. What Can is living is not a fairy tale. It's emotional weight. The pressure of always being strong, successful, desirable, until the soul grows tired. That's why he goes to therapy, reconnects, rebuilds. And that's not weakness. It's courage. Today, Can doesn't need blind applause or hateful criticism. He needs to be seen as a person, as an artist searching for something deeper. Maybe his country hasn't fully appreciated him yet, but those who see beyond appearances know Can Yaman wasn't born just to please. He was born to leave a mark. Speaking of Demet means speaking of a woman who walks with silent, powerful strength. Amid constant media pressure and gossip, she moves forward with her head held high, showing that talent isn't measured by headlines but by the truth with which you give yourself to your art. To me, Demet is the essence of a generation that can't be boxed in. She makes mistakes, she falls, but she always gets up stronger. Demet has been many things: a charismatic dancer, a versatile actress, a style icon, but also a target of unfair criticism, fed by rumors. People talk more about her relationships than her acting skills, and that says more about us than it does about her. Many still link her to her past with Can. Some hope for reconciliation. Others blame her for personal choices that are hers alone. But Demet has shown she doesn't need to live in the shadow of any relationship. She has reinvented herself, taken on deeper roles, and proved she's ready to grow, even if it means disappointing those who want her to stay the same. Behind that radiant smile is a woman who has carried the burden of fame and the contradictions of success. Demet doesn't respond to every attack, doesn't enter drama. That's not indifference, it's strength. In a world where everything is exposed, knowing how to stay quiet is a brave act. Yes, she may have made mistakes. Who hasn't? But she's had the courage to keep going. She still chooses projects that represent her, causes she believes in, and a life that may not be perfect, but is true. She doesn't need to justify herself. Her work and consistency speak for her. I admire Demet not just for what she shows on screen, but for what I imagine she has endured behind it. Remaining elegant amid chaos, choosing art in a shallow world, walking with dignity when others wait for you to fall. That's something only women who know who they are can do. So today, more than ever, we must stop demanding explanations from Demet Özdemir. Respect her silence, her choices, her timing, and celebrate all she has built, not just as an artist, but as a free woman. Demet is one of those artists who grow in silence. She doesn't need to shout to show her talent, nor create scandals to make headlines. On the contrary, each of her projects bears her mark, that of an actress who gives her all, who chooses demanding roles, who takes risks. And that, for me, is worth more than any interview or photoshoot. Some think her success is just luck or beauty, but those of us who truly follow her know there is sacrifice, discipline, and an inner strength that has kept her standing even when her private life was scrutinized. Yes, there were hard times, breakups, disappointments, criticism, but she never strayed from her path. Not even when attempts were made to reduce her to Can Yaman's ex, as if all her value depended on a past relationship. I've read comments accusing her of being cold or distant, as if her discretion were a flaw. But I see it as emotional intelligence. Demet understood that real freedom doesn't lie in responding to everything said, but in living coherently. While some play with image, she builds a career that depends only on herself. And the most admirable thing is that even with this professional focus, she hasn't lost her warmth. Just watch her in interviews, in fan encounters, in small but sincere gestures that show she hasn't let fame harden her. She's still that woman who smiles with her eyes, who listens, who cares about the details, and who maintains an honest relationship with her audience. That's why it bothers me when she's constantly compared to Khan, as if she can't exist without him. They are two different paths, two souls who once met and left a mark on millions, but that doesn't define who she is. Demet is much more than a past story. She's a complete artist, a woman who doesn't need noise to shine, and who keeps proving that true success is built with integrity, step by step. Today, while some try to profit from nostalgia, she looks ahead. And that's what I admire most. Her ability to be reborn without denying the past. Her elegance in not reacting to provocations. Her maturity in a world that rewards superficiality. Demet Özdemir doesn't need to justify anything. She has already proven through actions who she is. And she continues to do so in every role, every gesture, every silence.